We definitely doing some colored people time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the
CPT.
Pedro and CPT.
Hashtag CPT.
Welcome to the two minority folks in this channel. The Puerto Rican guy right there, his name is Pedro. The black guy over here is
Hi.
Hannibal.
He's a
What's
black
going
guy.
on? I hope you guys having a hope you guys had a great weekend. Sports, right? Football.
Mm,
Giants are terrible.
mm,
The
mm,
Bears are worse.
mm,
The
mm.
Bears are really bad. Uh, I don't know. Does Fields know how to play football? I don't know. Broncos are bad. Was it
Mm.
Broncos country? We cry, not re-ride. We cry.
Dude,
I've
it's
seen that a few
bad.
times.
70. The Miami Dolphins put a 70 piece up. Woo.
I have a
Yeah,
question. I have a
it's
question for that game. But
yeah.
Pedro, say hi to the people in the chat.
Yeah, what up, chat? What up, chat? Who we got in? We got Pia, Jerry, Giggity. I see Steve in here, James, Marty. Always a pleasure. Ghost Cab. Qualaya, what up, James? Mr. Flex in the house. Appreciate all y'all, some early commenters. Dasher Life Hawaii, Gig Wars Official, Bracket Gaming. Appreciate you guys for coming in. Sorry we're late. Hannibal had a birthday yesterday, so he just thinks he can just stroll in, do whatever the fuck he wants. But it's all we forgive him. Everybody, listen. All right, we're not going to sing happy birthday, but in the chat, I want you to put some celebratory emojis for our man, our showrunner, Mr. Hannibal is hungry.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Happy
39 years old. I had a really good birthday. Hanging out with the family. They took care of me. It was a day that I needed. Sometimes you don't know you need to kind of take a step back and just chill out. Left the big city, went to the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, 3 hours away. Thank you. She did it. My woman did my hair. She
nice.
She did make sure I look fresh and delicious and moisturized for you guys because we are in the media business. You can't look like a scrub if you want people to take you seriously. So she understands that. Was watching the game while she was doing my hair. Saw some crazy stuff. So this is the question I have here for you guys. The big game with the Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins look pretty good. I'm not a big listen. Tua is one hit away, but all right, they look great right now. I'm no denying that they're probably the best team right now.
Yeah.
So they ran up 70 points on the Broncos. They were going to get the record, right? If they had kicked that field goal, they would have had more points than ever, right? Anybody ever, whatever. They decided not to. The coach McDaniels, he did not do it. And I want to ask you guys, if you were the coach of the Miami Dolphins, would you have kicked that field goal to get that record?
Yes.
Pedro, you would. I know, Pedro, you
100%. I mean, listen, I understand why he wouldn't want to, or I get it, but I want to be in the record. I mean, come on. You want to be the team that's, hey, the 2023 Mike McDaniels coach Tua Tagovailoa led team put up 73. It's the right. Yeah. I'm gonna kick the
why would they even play?
Yeah, I'm gonna kick it. Yeah,
you're gonna kick. In the chat, what do you guys think? So Lee said yes, Bobby said no. I mean, it definitely was a mercy. It was like
I understand why
some level of respect because maybe he's thinking, you don't want something to happen to you. But that was just an ass kicking. You just got stomped out. But you hit 70. You already you already beat the guy down or beat the whole team down. So I'm either way. I would have asked the team. I would have maybe group of the leaders of the squad and said,
"That's a good point."
Kick the field goal?
And maybe they said that, and maybe the guys were like, "Nah, we're good." I think that's a great point. And he seems like he's definitely a player's coach. He might have done that.
Yeah,
he might have asked the coaches, and because he seems like that kind of guy. But I'm kicking that shit.
You're kicking that shit.
If I'm a kicker on that team, if I'm Tua. If I'm that team, hey, let's break the record. Let's go for it. I'm kicking it. 100%.
Definitely. A Ghost Cap said, kick it. Yeah. I feel you. It depends. Giggity said it's going to be the highlight of the year. Might as well get the record. Yeah. Definitely. Marty says, hey, it wasn't Colorado. Let's just jump in real quick with the Colorado stuff. So, I think, what's up, Dash and Trader? Appreciate you coming through. Pedro last week dropped a short saying, the team's going to, Colorado's, they're losing. They're going to get, they suck. They're terrible. Deion Sanders is a terrible coach. He's got all.
I actually didn't say any of those things. I said, this is embarrassing. They should be a little embarrassed. This is when they were losing to Colorado State.
Right.
and then they wind up winning. But
they won that game. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Pedro was already digging the grave for their loss last week. So now next week, I guess Pedro is vindicated because Oregon State beat the brakes off the team. So no, how happy are you with that? Since you
listen, hold on, stop. I actually love what Deion Sanders is doing. I love it. I liken it to the 90s Michigan Wolverines with Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard. I like the swag. I love the confidence. I think he's a phenomenal coach. I think he's building up these young men to have great lives in whatever they do. I love everything about Colorado. I like it. I'm here for it. I got no hate. Now, the issue is I'm a realist. So when I see a team getting a lot of plug and they beat TCU and they were big underdogs, then they beat a Nebraska team, which is trash. They beat Colorado State. They were supposed to beat Colorado State. Then they run into an actual team. Oregon is legit. And they got walked. They had no answer for nothing. They got beaten every phase of the game. I expected that to happen. So I just think they got a little humble pie. I think that's fine. They got to play USC, which USC is also a very good football team. They got the Heisman quarterback on that team who'll probably win his second Heisman this year. Caleb Williams, I believe his name is. So they're going to get rolled again. And it's not going to be a good couple of weeks for Colorado, but they'll be fine because they got a great coach. They got players, but they got humbled because they haven't really played anybody yet. So I think they're getting a lot of attention because of Deion Sanders. If anybody else is coaching this team, we're not talking about Colorado, even if they've got the same players. We're just not. So I'm not a Colorado hater, but I'm a realist, and I think that they're not going to win much more games this year.
So, and this is a good I'm not going to transition into the whole trolls and haters. We're going to get to that point. Actually, a little bit of the element is going to be
Hannibal's calling me a hater. It's fine. It's okay.
A little bit. But we're going to try to get a definition of trolls and haters, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
Also, we're going to be talking about a little later on, probably towards the end, Eli extending an olive branch, I think, saying, hey, Hannibal, Pedro, you were unblocked on my channel. First of all, I didn't know I was blocked on your channel because I didn't like I don't drop comments. I'll check it out, but I did see that he said, hey, I unblocked you guys. I wanted to have a resolution. I'm going to be mature about it, but we'll talk about exactly what he said a little later on.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll show you the link or show the community post he posted about it. A lot of people. I guess there's a little bit of a divide of a minor hater. What's going on?
I'll take that. Take it.
There are many people who are, and even the Oregon coach had a good, pretty rowdy pre-game talk. Like, here, we're here for wins, not for clicks.
What do you think about that when you saw it? Because I saw it live when I was watching the game. I saw it when they put it on. What do you think about when you saw that the first time?
I understand what he's saying. I understand why he did it. It worked, clearly. Mm-hmm. I think there's many people who are upset about Deion Sanders' effect, the prime effect, that this team may be getting too much attention. Mm. But what I think they're not understanding, or maybe they do, and they're in it for the ride. This Deion Sanders is bringing so much more attention to an already popular sport, but it's getting to the next level where every Saturday we want to watch and see what this team does. But if I was another team, and I worked as hard and have a better program, why are you not talking about us?
Yeah,
and you can use that. But football team, that's all sports teams do. They use everything as fuel. Things they don't even make logical sense. So I understand that, but at the same time, we need to understand that Deion Sanders is taking a team that won one game last year. So
stop. Hold on. It's a completely different team. So he took over a university. It's a completely. Yes. They don't have any. I don't think they have, but maybe a couple of guys left from that team last year. So it's a completely different team. So I just want to say that it's not the same guys.
No, good point.
Because if he had the same guys, they wouldn't have won any games so far.
Right.
So
he's taking a team. That's why they went out and tried to grab him and paid him a good amount of money. The amount of money they gave him is now a discount for the amount of attention that he's bringing onto the program, the amount of I'm sure the merch, the ticket sales, he's probably being underpaid. The videos, the packaging, play my theme music. All that stuff
he's a
brings
marketing
it.
genius. He has his son. His son does social media, from what I understand, and they're all over the place. His son does a really great job of that.
Yeah. Good vlogs, like a vlog, kind of,
Yeah.
they did. I remember watching some videos of them moving from Jackson State to Colorado. But is that coach a hater or a troll? Or even some of the people that say, why are we talking so much about a team that, yes, when you get to the big dogs of college football, they're going to get stomped out. If they mention that, are they haters? Are they trolls? Or they just providing criticism?
The other coaches, the Oregon
coaches
coach
or people, the Oregon coach, or even other people. The guy who said, the other, Colorado State, you shouldn't be walking around with your sunglasses. So when you and Prime is kind of using it as they hating on me, and I'm going to turn around and use it as fuel. But what's your perspective on that?
No, I think Coach Prime's handled everything very well. I think the whole with the Colorado State, the glasses thing, and all. I mean, he hasn't missed a mark. Now the issue is. And this happens with any level of sporting, okay? You're going to rally your troops. You're going to get in there, especially with football. It's like it's a lot, physical, right? Passion. So the Oregon coach saying what he said, that's exactly what he was supposed to say. And it worked. And he wasn't wrong. Colorado State is doing a lot of – I don't think he was necessarily wrong.
Right? Well, he said they're trying to get clicks. So for him to say
Aren't they trying to get clicks?
I think Deion wants to win. Yeah, he wants attention.
You could do both. You can have both. I think clearly he wants to win. He wants to prove that an African-American coach can do it on his terms, his way, right? Rebuild something and take care of these young men and win. Absolutely. I think that he said that a few times from what I've seen. However, he has his son with him as a quarterback, which he's a great quarterback. He's going to be in the NFL at some point. Probably not next year, but the year after. He has his other son, I believe his older son,
cornerback,
right? Defensive back or safety. Then he has his other son and daughter doing social media. So Deion Sanders wants the clicks because he understands that the more they're going to be more relevant, and he's also going to help him in recruiting for next year and the years to come if they're on social media talking about all these things, NIL deals I can get you. I'm going to, help your young sons, develop into young men. Like it goes beyond the football field for him, but he clearly wants the clicks. Deion Sanders is in front of a camera, by my guess, 10 to 12 hours a day. His son is following him, and they're on every social media platform. He's on all the, he does the circuit with ESPN and Fox News and College Game Day. Deion Sanders likes the attention, and he's great for it. He's fantastic. He's always been like that. Even when he was a player, he was music videos. He was doing the rap stuff. He was prime time. Like Deion is just being Deion. I love it. I'm here for it. But the coach from Oregon, I think he was completely right. You don't want to lose at home to Deion Sanders. You want to win, and Oregon's very good. They're highly ranked. You got a really good quarterback, a lot better playmakers. So they won because they're the superior team. But I think he wanted to fire his guys up. I think Deion definitely wants clicks. I think that's part of his image, part of the packaging for everything. It's part of his responsibility to make more money because I'm sure, the more merchandising and all that, he's going to get more revenue. So because when he went to Colorado, the president of Colorado or whoever that makes the decisions, they didn't have the money to pay him. So they said, we're going to figure out how to get the money. But I also think Deion Sanders took that into his own hands and said, all right, you know what? Let me work on this social media stuff, and I'm going to do what I can to make sure that the marketing is on par and that we're part of something great here that's more social, right? Because nobody was watching Colorado football last year. Nobody. No. None of their games were featured. Now they are. And the only reason is because of him. He knows that. I think he's using it to his advantage. And I think it's great for college football. I don't think I've ever watched a Colorado football game in my entire life. And I watch football, but I've watched 2 of the 3 games they've played, or 2 of the 4, whatever. So I think it's definitely he wants the clicks, but I understand there's a bigger reason behind it.
No, actually, you convinced me. Like you said, it's more of his overall strategy on how to get the program up to prominence. Obviously, college football it's more like a recruitment. So for him to be so out there, he can recruit better players that want to be and jump on that prime bandwagon. So you actually make a lot of sense. Sin was talking about he doesn't look at the, he's talking about he doesn't look at the media, but I wonder how he found about the viewership numbers.
No, of course
week.
he looks at the
so
media.
Everyone has some ideas. And Pierre Broderick said Hamill is naive. It's possible. I'm sure I'm naive about a few things. Pierre, I know. Also, she's talking about how terrible the Giants are. And listen, they're not good. The NFC East, everyone is better than the Giants are. I mean, even the Washington, what do they call them now? Redskins. Sorry, team.
No, we can go with that.
Generals. They
Commanders?
didn't do, whatever.
They lost. They look bad too. Yeah,
they're still 2-1. The Eagles, and all right, Dallas Cowboys. What happened?
I don't know. Arizona. I mean, what's going on? They almost beat the Giants.
That was pretty good.
They beat the Cowboys. Well, I don't know what's going on over there. Listen,
but
football has been weird. There's been a lot of injuries, a lot of parity.
Yeah. But Dallas Cowboys, every once in a while, will lose a game. You're like, because first they'll be like, oh, what about those boys? Championship, and then they'll go to a team and then lay an egg, and then we realize, okay, maybe they're not going to be that great, but
they're still going to make the playoffs, and then it will all be dependent upon how Dak plays. Does he turn over the ball or not? He had a big turnover yesterday in the end zone, so it's all going to be on him because the rest of the team's pretty good. The defense, and they got playmakers on offense, and I think the offensive play calling that Mike McCarthy's doing now is going to overall be good for the season. But yeah, I mean, the NFL is just odd. The Bears are one of the worst teams in the NFL right now.
Let's break down your Bears, because
there's nothing to break. Listen, I don't want to break it down because they look like shit. They look horrible after all that happened this week. It was the worst week that I can remember in my life of being a Bears fan ever. This is why the defensive coach resigned, because there were some kind of issues with the FBI, raided his home. He resigns. Justin Fields says what he says about his coaching and might be coaching. Then he backtracks and says, I got to play better. Nobody looks like they want to be there. They're underutilizing. The offensive play calling is crappy. The coach is just not very good. This is a bad time. We've had some bad times. But even when a couple of years ago, we had Matt Nagy. We had the Mitch Trubisky. We were 12-4.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to Mitch? Is he still in the league?
Yeah, he's with the Steelers. Yeah. So he's a backup. But like at this point, we just from the front office down been making bad decisions. We traded up to get Mitch Trubisky, and then like 4 years later, he was gone. We get Justin Fields. At the rate he's going, he's not going to get his 5-year deal. So he's gone in a couple of years. I mean, this is just bad.
Yeah.
So, we used to play really good defense, and we always had good linebackers and defense. We don't even have that right now. We're one of the worst defenses in the league. Yeah. We're giving up 30 points a game. It's just, it's absurd. And I didn't expect them to play that bad. It was embarrassing. The Chiefs are a really good team, but I expected them to score a little bit more and at least be a little more interested. The Chiefs did anything they wanted on offense. So
I mean, you had Taylor Swift laughing at you guys, screaming. All right, I'm annoyed with the whole.
Listen, shout out to Travis
Kelce.
Stuff. He's winning. He's winning. He's winning.
I'm tired. The network is really forcing us down. I don't care, man. Great. That's great that she's interested in this guy. I don't care. Do anyone care about Taylor Swift and who she dates?
Hannibal, I think you're missing the mark. I think the entire world gives a fuck right now. It's all you see on everything that I've seen, at least.
Do you care?
Everywhere. No, I don't care. But most people care. I think Taylor Swift is. This reminds me of the. Do you remember when Tony Romo was dating Jessica Simpson? Remember that?
It wasn't in our face as much as this.
No, it was. Jessica Simpson had the Tony Romo jersey on, and it's very similar to that.
I felt like it was very some shot, but this was. Well, I was watching the game. They show her a lot in that skybox, talking to Kelsey's mom.
I mean, yeah.
It was a few times, and the fact that you guys couldn't score, maybe if you guys scored a little bit more, I wouldn't have to see her face.
Oh, so it's the Bears' fault. It's the Bears' fault that Taylor Swift is showing.
Yes, absolutely. It's Fields' fault. Fields should have scored some touchdowns. They would not show her face. So it's Fields' fault. And I want to write him a letter.
I think they're going to show her face because she's the biggest music star in the world right now. I don't think that's even debatable. I think right now, as of today, based on what she's done with the concerts recently, and she's going to be doing them in November. And I'm not like a Taylor Swift fan. I think this is just a fact. If you look at numbers and influence on pop culture right now, she's the biggest music star in the world. So when you have the biggest music star, right, and she's at a game and the Chiefs are good and Travis Kelce's not a household name, but he's a really good player, I think it just makes, makes sense. So
this is a good comment from Pia. You are old, and we're both old, and also we need to shake it off. All those things make sense, Pia. You think the average football fan gives a shit about Taylor Swift?
No, but that's the average football fan knows who Taylor Swift is. So this isn't like Travis Kelce's dating some like random, just, semi-popular pop person or whatever. This is like if Rihanna at her height went and was dating, I don't know, a basketball player or another football player.
Good point.
That's what it's like.
Do you think they would show her as often as they showed her?
Absolutely. I think if Rihanna was dating Patrick Mahomes or something, it'd be just as big of a deal. Yes, I believe that.
I don't want to spend the whole time talking about Taylor Swift, but I would say that Kelsey was dating a much more attractive girl before. Because I saw pictures of the other girl. Again, Taylor Swift is a bigger deal.
Yeah, but
I would say, I'm looking in terms of looks. His last chick he was with, and I think I forgot why they broke up, but who cares? I was like, I saw a few memes like dude downgraded. I laughed. I'm like, yeah, that kind of look. I mean, I'm looking at her and looking at Taylor.
In one way, but Travis Kelce could have a pic of any Instagram hottie that he wants. He's had that, and he's getting a little older. Now he's like, hey, okay, maybe I want to have something that has a little more substance. Somebody that's also talented, like I am, driven, successful. So I don't doubt him for that. Travis Kelce's had a dating show. Travis Kelce's been banging hot chicks for 10 years. So at some point, it's like, maybe I want to actually like somebody. So for me, I think that's really weak when people are like, oh, she's not as baddie as he used to have. That's weak.
But I would say that you don't. I think it's a good idea to date a regular person if you are a really successful person, because two successful people, like it's like two lawyers, two doctors. They're busy all the time. Everyone's driven. Like, who's going to hang out with each other if everyone is like Taylor Swift doing concerts, Travis Kelce is trying to win another championship? I'm sorry, guys, that we talked this long about this. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
It's your fault.
DoorDash driver said Taylor Swift is the most average-looking diva of all time. I'm not gonna argue with that.
I mean,
Bobby says I'm a hater. It's fine.
Yeah. I got called a hater earlier. No,
thank you, Pia. You agree? Like, it's a bit much, but it's fine. It's fine. I thought Patrick Mahomes got hurt in one play. He kind of hopped up a little bit.
Yeah.
He seemed
that
like
dude's tough. Well. That dude is tough. He's done that a lot. He's built different.
Yeah.
He's tough too.
The Bengals are playing the Rams. Bengals are 0-2. They're winning right now, 16-9. What's going on with the Bengals? I haven't watched the full game. Have you checked out what's going on?
I think Joe Burrow's been a little banged up. He was even questionable to play tonight. I think he's just been a little hurt. So I think he doesn't have the confidence and some of that movement in the pocket. I think the Bengals are just, they're good. They got a lot of playmakers, but if that offensive line's trash, just like the Bears' offensive line's trash. So if you don't have enough time to get the ball to your playmakers, you're not going to be that good. I think that's part of their issue. So
fair enough. So I know Wednesday we kind of go on to some of the others, the next week's score. So we'll talk about next week's standings. But the Jets suck, Giants suck, Bears suck, Denver. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do.
I said in the beginning of the year, Russell Wilson by Game 7 will not be the starting quarterback, and I'm going to stand by that statement.
Probably, and you did say that. That was the one thing you got going.
One thing.
You said the Bears were going to do better. You kind of, that didn't work out, which is fine. Listen, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Hater.
Get Giggity with a really good comment. I prefer a thicker Adele. I'll be over on the other side.
Facts, me too. I like a thicker Adele than the newer version of Adele.
Yeah.
Yes. Adele, I don't know what it is about Adele. Maybe it's the singing, but I always had she's got a little something going on.
She can sing her out. Yeah, her voice
too.
Is amazing. So also, Super Bowl halftime show for sure.
Fan? Yes, I love Usher. I think he's going to do great. I'm surprised. I don't think Usher's a big name. For me, I think he's a big name for R&B and like what we listen to. But
Right.
I'm surprised. I don't think he was their first choice. I'm surprised it's Usher, if I'm being honest.
I'm happy. It's more of a happy surprise. I don't know if because he has a
I'm happy
Las
too.
Vegas residency where they kind of just perform and he's there. I mean, I think he's gonna have a fantastic show. The guy has so many songs. The dude could perform. Maybe he'll bring some Las Vegas people that's already out there. I think it's going to be a really good show. Like Rihanna was okay, but the problem is she was pregnant. Can't really do too much.
It was good, but it wasn't like super entertaining, right? It was like the pace was a little slower. I think Usher's going to bring it. So
yeah, definitely. Lee says Usher hasn't been big in a long time. I know he's talking about the
surprised.
album. R&B died, man. We really got to start breaking down what the hell happened with R&B. We talked about it before. It's hopefully it comes back. I don't know. It's all about rapping. I don't know, country or some shit. DoorDash driver says they should have an MMA fight instead of a musical act. Interesting.
That is interesting.
I mean, that's a bit, it's already a violent sport. I guess you could take it to the next level. But so before we get into some of the more hater stuff and some of the stuff that Eli kind of try to, I don't know. Again, I don't understand what he was trying to do, but we'll talk about that a little later on. So I'm watching during the weekend. I was watching a lot of old TV. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with these apps, Pluto TV and Tubi, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are free apps. It's streaming, but they show all old stuff, all 90s TV shows, even 80s game shows. I was watching Supermarket Sweep. You remember that show? Like,
Supermarket Sweep. Remind me.
So they have it's contestants like three teams. They basically the game is you're guessing prices on items and the more guesses Why was I watching that? I have no idea. But I guess it reminded me of the nostalgic of watching it when I was younger. I'm watching old Maury. Why am I watching it? I was watching Maury shows. I was watching old dating shows. And I'm sitting
hold on. You're watching Maury Povich, bro?
On Pluto TV. It's a whole channel where you can watch Maury, Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos, anything you remember watching back in the day. Probably Montel, Ricky Lake. I'm sitting there thinking, like, why am I watching? Because you know the problem is everything nowadays sucks. It's all bad. And I think being nostalgic, you kind of think about the old stuff. But I just saw it. So last time you went to the movies?
Oh, good question. I used to go a lot. The last movie I saw, what did we see? Oh man, I can't remember. The last time I went was probably in the last 9 months.
So that's recent. It's not too bad. I thought it was like years. Yeah, I thought
maybe in the last 9 months. I think we saw that movie. Oh man, it had Olivia Wilde directed it, and it had
I know you're talking about, but I didn't watch it.
Goodbye Baby or something. But anyways, it was like a thriller kind of movie.
Was it good?
It was okay. Yeah. But the movies, I used to go a lot back in the day, man. I feel like the blockbusters would come out, like you go see a movie on a Friday night. But like now, as I become older, like you can stream everything. Yeah. So I just rather be in my home, eating my popcorn, watching it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What did he say? Steve, he said you're not the father, you're Maury. Steve, so the reason why I bring this up, at least for the movie,
Something Darling. Hold up, Stevie. Yes, Something Darling. That's the movie. That's the last movie I saw. Yeah.
So this weekend they had Expendables 4. Barely remember even Expendables even coming out to even talk about it. So this came up. Expendables 4 only earned $8.3 million in opening weekend.
Wow.
I don't even know the second movie, The Nun 2. Don't know anything about it. No movie managed to top $10 million this weekend, making the worst box office frame of the year.
Well, I can tell you why right now. You want to know why?
Yeah, go ahead.
So movies come out on like Thursday night to midnight, or they come out on Friday, right? Mm-hmm. We're in the fall. We're talking about football here, right?
True.
Also, on Friday nights, you have high school football. People are doing stuff like this isn't a movie season. So historically, this time of the year, it's past the summer, the blockbusters are done. So I'm not surprised that it didn't do great because of the timing that we're in right now.
So you don't think it's based on the quality of the films?
Well, I think there's some of that as well. I think it's like a mix of both,
Okay.
This is kind of a hard time for movies to be popular because football is big. Listen, when football season comes, you've got Friday Night Lights, okay, and in a lot of cities, a lot of towns, if your kid plays or your daughter's a cheerleader or whatever, you're going to that game. And Saturday, college football is a huge deal, okay, and then Sunday is NFL, and then you got Monday. So football is where it's at right now. So people spend their time doing that kind of stuff, and kids are back in school, families are more busy. They're not going to the movie theater. So that's how
I understand that point, but I think movies are terrible now. They suck. And that I just think the quality is not there. And I think that's why a lot of these movies.
Is there a writer strike still?
They just got a deal maybe a couple of days ago, maybe a day or two ago. So they got that taken care of. But I'm trying to think of watching regular commercials of the shows that's coming out right now, the remakes. All of the we thought we were going to
I gotta put that out. Megan Fox. I don't know what that was about, but I thought we were gonna do. We'll dunk on the clowns, but I want to hear Hannibal's thoughts on this movie.
Right. I mean, I think that. So I was watching a commercial about Frasier. Are you a fan of Frasier, the sitcom? I don't know if you're.
I've seen the show. Yeah. Kelsey Grammer is phenomenal. I liked him from when he was on Cheers.
Of course,
the character he played there. I was more of a Cheers fan than Frasier. Yeah, but. Yeah, it was. I like the Drew Carey show. You ever watch the Drew Carey show?
Yeah,
I like that better.
Too,
yeah. But Frasier was cool. I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but
so if you go on Tubi, and actually Frasier's on the rest of stuff, but you go on Tubi, they have all the old school. You're watching the Wayans Brothers, you're watching Martin, you're watching all these really great sitcoms. So Frasier's coming back, right? I saw a trailer. Frasier's old, whatever. I'm watching the trailer. It's supposed to come on Paramount, whatever. Not funny. It was a whole trailer of jokes. None of them are funny. Comedy has been basically destroyed, right? The only thing that's funny is the stuff we see on the internet, right? The memes, the reels. Because when you watch a sitcom now, it's really, really bad. I'm watching Kelsey Grammer, same guy, same voice, dropping jokes. I'm like, this shit is not funny. Where's the funny? What happened? Like, did we all lose our ability to be
They're out of touch a little bit. It might be out of touch. And I think comedians, they're the funniest when they're a little hungry and they don't give a fuck. And I think nowadays it's hard to be a comedian because everybody's so soft and PC and afraid to say certain things, and you know what I'm saying. So I feel like they're not confident. And as a comedian, you got to be confident, a little hungry, and those are the comedians that I like. Right?
And you may offend, but it just the stuff it just wasn't funny. I'm looking at all these remakes, the stuff, the Disney stuff, all of the Little Mermaid. And I'm like, these movies are not hitting. People don't care. And on top of that, when a movie comes out, like I watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the newest one that came out. It's good. It was good. It was okay. I could watch it right now, 2-3 weeks later, streaming. So what's the purpose of even going
That's
to the
what I was
theater?
saying earlier. Yeah, why go to just watch it at home? It's expensive to go. It's always been expensive, but it's even more expensive now to go to the theater, right? It just is. The rising cost of everything's crazy. Plus, everybody's got like a nice TV. You could watch a movie in your home, and maybe you even got surround sound. It's like you turn the lights off, you got popcorn, you're cuddled up. It's almost a better experience just to be at home than it is
at this point.
Get in the car, put gas in the car, go do this, do that, and find a seat. Do you like the seat? Are you sitting next to somebody that's crazy? I'd rather just turn the lights off, watch it on the couch, So
it just I was starting to realize, like, man, so that's why I will invite you guys. Download those apps. It works kind of like the same thing, like old school. They got the guide. You go and you find different channels. You can watch Pimp My Ride for some reason if that's a thing that you want to watch.
Was that Exhibit? Right? It was Exhibit, wasn't it?
They got Cheaters. It have all these old school terrible shows. And
Cheers is a good show. I like Cheers. Cheers.
It kind of reminds me of, we think like how things are crazier or more wild. No, 90s were fucking crazy. There were some episodes I'm watching. I'm like, how did Maury get this many people to show up to argue and embarrass themselves? Yeah. Where this woman was like, I gotta give 4 DNA tests or get 5 guys to get a DNA test to see who's the father of my child. How you able to get all those people together? Like, so we kind of think of like, oh, society is falling apart. Nah, the 90s was pretty crazy. It was pretty wild. Giggity says Kelsey Grammer was in The Expendables. For real? We talking.
What's up, Wealthy?
It was about, like I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Stevie Wonderful says, "How come Cheaters always end up at Red Lobster?" Cheaters was a wild
Cheaters was
show.
crazy. Listen, I'm gonna be listen. I would see Cheaters. I feel like it would come on kind of late nights, and I'd have it on.
Yeah.
And I was always thinking, like, damn, is somebody following me? Like, is my girl thinking? And I'd be. Cheaters gave me PTSD, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I would see that shit, and I'd be like, all right, hold on, let me call my side chick real quick. Let me text her and make sure she's like that. That was wild, but it was funny. It was funny because it's it's like entertaining. You know what I'm saying? But
gotta be careful, man.
Those things are wild. But the old school TV shows, there's definitely some nostalgia there. I'm a big like I used to watch King of the Hill, the comedy or the cartoon.
Definitely.
Love King of the Hill. I used to watch obviously some of the South Park, King of the Hill with Doug and Carrie. That was always kind of a funny show. The father in there was really awesome. Yeah. But there's a lot of I used to watch Seinfeld. Seinfeld's a fantastic show in my opinion. Because it's literally about nothing but the comedy. It's well written and the acting's pretty good. Yeah, definitely. Martin, like all those shows, man, were really good.
Yeah, so. I would say in terms of like my favorite, it's Married with Children, Martin. I think Martin. I don't think I've laughed as hard as I ever watching a sitcom. Watching Martin, there's not
a bad. I can't remember ever watching a bad episode. There's not a bad episode.
It was. I would be dying laughing. It was just so crazy and over the top.
He was good. Shout out to Tisha Campbell too, man.
Oh yeah, well, all of them.
Shout out to Tisha Campbell.
I mean, they were delicious. Anyway, Big Carl with the Blind Date. I'm not shitting you, Big Carl. I saw an episode of Blind Date today. Again, watching Pluto.
I kind of remember that. Yeah. What was the show where the woman, I think the chick in the show would pick between the two guys, or the guy would pick between two girls.
It's a bunch of those. Yeah, there's a lot of them. I know it was a really old one called Studs. There's Love Connection. There's a bunch of them that kind of had that, game showy kind of dating where they don't really care about actually making a connection. Yeah, they're just trying to.
I mean, all these shows are just horny people trying to just get laid for a night. But
they want attention too. They want TV.
Yeah, they want. Yeah, that's all. That's all it is.
Were you a fan of game shows? Like, what was your favorite game show?
Family Feud. By
the new one or the old one? Like the Steve Harvey one?
But I like the old. I like some of the Steve Harvey. I like Steve Harvey in the first couple years he started, but I like the old stuff too. Yeah. But my favorite game show is Jeopardy. I love Jeopardy. I would watch sometimes. Jeopardy would come on in St. Louis at like 3:00, I think, and I sit there and watch and I play along and I count out my score sometimes. Like I love Jeopardy. Love playing along with Jeopardy. That's my number one game show that I like. So
that's what's up. Marty talking about Doug. I love Doug. That's Nickelodeon.
Okay, I know Doug, but I didn't watch Doug.
Yeah, because you was out getting real chicks. It's all good. Living Color. Like there's so many brilliant comedians that came out of there. I mean, Jim Carrey was at the point was making $20 million in a film. He said if it wasn't for Living Color, he would have never been. He was the only white guy. No, it was a white chick too. I forgot her name. She was funny too.
He was the first. Yeah, there was a white girl that came at some point. Jennifer Lopez was a fly girl, obviously.
Yes,
but Jim Carrey, Fire Marshal Bill, like Keenen Ivory Wayans, I think doesn't get enough credit. He really catapulted a lot of people's careers. Oh yeah, and he did a lot, man.
Especially his family. He made sure his family was always on a lot of stuff. And shout out to the Wayans brothers. A funny show. Okay, what's it? Oh yeah, Golden Girls, fantastic. This one show, I tried to watch it.
I never
never connected. You never see Homeboys in Outer Space?
No, man.
You didn't. I don't know. I know DoorDash Driver. I don't know if you're like a fan of that show, but it just wouldn't work for me, man. I was trying to watch that. Koala talking about Designer Women. Designer Women is like it's
I saw that the other night.
It's sneaky funny. You watch it and you'll be like, oh shit, that's kind of funny. Like the way those girls be after each other, like it was really catty.
Who was the guy? Who's the black guy in there? Always really
I don't know his name, but
well-dressed guy. Yeah, I remember seeing him. I saw that playing. I was skimming channels maybe just yesterday, and I saw that. And I stopped on it for a minute, and he had like a purple suit. I'm like, damn, he looks good. Like guys don't dress like that anymore.
That's a sneaky funny show. You're thinking like, well, I'm not gonna find this funny, but it's kind of so. What I'm trying to say before we jump into the next thing is,
we're gonna get into the haters.
The past
and all that.
is better, and everything now sucks. And there's no reason to keep going because it's garbage. Like nothing is funny except the stuff that you remember back when you was a kid. So, yeah.
Well, the same can be said. We talk about this often, like on camera and off. Hannibal and I like to listen to what we like, and we'll send each other music and songs. And it's like shit from the 90s and 2000s, and it's not usually new stuff, right? Because sometimes I think we get used to listening to things at a certain point in our life, and we listen to it so much and we just like that, and that's what we like. And then the new stuff comes out every 10, 20 years. The sound of music or the way TV's made or movies just kind of shifts based on what's going on culturally or what's appropriate or considered appropriate. So I just like what I like from the ages of 18 to 28. In that time, in that 10-year span, that's the music I still listen to for the most part. So I think TVs can be similar like that.
Definitely. I will keep trying, keep watching new stuff, but it's not here right now. But let's get more into the idea of the haters and trolls. So the reason why I brought this up was we deal with it a lot. And this is not just a content creator thing. This is your life. What you're going through, dealing with friends and family. You may deal with a family member that you'd be like, wow, every time I am around, they always have something to say. And I don't know if they're trying to help or they're just being disrespectful. Like, what's going on? Are you're hating? You're trying to help? So the reason why I brought it up because I saw, Eli made a video, and someone is interesting because I saw it before he deleted it. A person asking legitimate questions about the video. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't insulting. He was just saying, like, hey, you guys are saying a lot of stuff, but trying to get more context. And the comment was deleted. And I know him and many other people, other locales, DSPs of the world. Any kind of criticism, they take it as you are hating, you're being disrespectful. But at the same time, I think even content creators, even people out here, we could be a little sensitive to what is considered a troll or a hater. I think I could probably be admitted. Sometimes I could look at something and think, no, you're not. You're trying to play me. You're out of here. Where it could have been constructive. So that's all kind of want to open up of what exactly the difference between constructive criticism. Is it fact-based? Is it respectful? Is it open to dialogue? Is it actually precise of what exactly you're criticizing? Or is it just being provocative? So the one person I could talk to about this is Pedro. Considering he has over 60,000 subscribers. He's been in the thick of it. You've mentioned trolls. Sometimes you've even commented and went back and forth with trolls. So tell me your thought process when you see a comment or you see a video. What do you just consider someone a troll or a hater? Like, what's your thought process when you go through that?
It's a good question. Because I think it's just layers and it can be complex. The reason I say that is because I think as a reader of a comment, right? As you're looking at something on a screen or on your device and you're reading it, I think when you're in that moment, personally, how you're feeling in that moment, are you having a good day, a bad day, right? It's going to play a major role in how you take that comment, those words on the screen, because they're words. And a lot of things, in my opinion, get lost in translation via text message, words, a comment, because you don't understand, like you're reading it. So the personal space that you're in your mind that's how you're going to take it and read it when you're reading it. And it could just be constructive criticism, like you're saying, right? Because I think that can be a positive thing when somebody's just questioning you, or maybe I said something or you said something or somebody said something that wasn't factual and it was our opinion. So somebody is questioning you on an opinion because they might feel like they have a different opinion. That's not trolling, right? But I definitely feel a lot of us, you, myself included, at times can look at something and say, oh, they're just trolling. And it's not trolling, right? It's just somebody with a different opinion, a different perspective. They look at things differently and they're just asking a question. Or it could be that they're just trying to be funny, right? Yeah. And things get lost in translation. And we read it and, oh, that's not funny. Fuck this guy. Like, what? I'm blocking you. Like, you're a troll. And you dismiss somebody because they're different and you dismiss them as a troll. And I think that's a sign of weakness. I think a lot of us are guilty of it at different times. I have blocked many people on my channel. And in the last month or so, I've unblocked 99% of the people on my channel. Because I'm like, you know what? Maybe 2 years ago when this person said that, maybe I don't want them blocked anymore because maybe I was, I'm a little bit different now. I understand my skin's a little thicker. So I unblocked 99% of the people on my channel because I feel like on the internet, we could have difference of opinion. It's okay, right?
Yeah.
And words on a screen shouldn't make you feel some type of way, right? It should just be, you should just digest it. And if you don't like it, leave it. And if anything, as a content creator, you want engagement. You want people to feel some type of way. If you got haters, that's a good thing. And I've learned that over the last couple of years, right? If people are indifferent, that's bad. You want people to like you and hate you. Now, I do think there are people that troll on purpose because they want attention. That's definitely a thing. But I don't think it happens as much as some of us think it happens.
Yeah.
Because I think some people just have a different sense of humor, or they just want to challenge you and they want a little attention. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a troll. I think it's really easy to use that word sometimes.
Yeah. Bad Squatch says criticism can be helpful. You have to be able to look at yourself and be able to see the faults to grow. And, kind of not just bring it out of, content creating and being, a YouTuber or whatever. But I'm sure you guys are around a family member, especially a family member or a friend. Mostly, especially a family member, because you can't just walk away. Like your friend, if someone you can say your friend is always saying something weird, you could just like leave them and not talk to them. But your family member, that you go out, you go to a family function, and they just have weird comments about like, hey, you're not making that big money yet, or hey, you look kind of heavy, or like really.
Hold on. Did this happen to you recently?
Being someone calling fat. Yeah. My mother, I guess you consider mother-in-law. I walked in and he's like, hey, you're getting fat. But I was like, all right, whatever. Like I didn't, because years of dealing with this person, it doesn't bother because she always says a little bit weird things.
Like got a little sly comment kind of.
Yeah. So you're kind of thinking like, okay, are you trying to attack me? But it's also culturally. So, my family, at least one side of my family is Caribbean, especially my chick, Caribbean. Caribbean people can be very, very honest to a point of insulting you.
Like kind of
they love you,
very direct.
But they will flame your ass. They will roast.
It's the same way it's just Puerto Ricans the same way. Like they're just rude sometimes. Like,
but I don't know if we consider that hating, because that's culturally they love you. They want to see the best of you, but they will say exactly what's on their mind while hesitating, right? So like it's a cultural thing as well. But how do you find when someone says something you're like, that's a troll? Like when you look at something like that's a troll, and
bro, honestly, it depends on how I'm feeling. Like, like if I'm having like a really good day and I'm feeling good and my family's good and like I'm just, like I'm feeling like I'm positive, that shit don't really get to me.
Yeah.
And I got friends and family like that too. Like they'll question certain things about this or that. And if I'm feeling good, I'll just kind of like laugh it off, or I'll throw a joke their way, and I'm cool with it, right? Same in the comment section. Somebody might say something crazy, and I might just like say something funny back because it doesn't affect me. But if I'm having kind of a bad day, maybe my confidence just ain't right where I want it to be, and somebody say, "Hey, Pedro, man, bro, what's up with your hair, man? Like, you gonna brush that this week?" Like, I might take that comment like personal and come at and feel some type of way. So I think it really depends. It's a very fluid thing for me, right? So when somebody's coming at you with some criticism or some tough love or, whatever, right? An observation about you, right? I think it depends on how you're feeling that day and how you're going to take it. I think we need a little more tough love sometimes, right? I think a lot of us are, I think when you have really good close friends and family, I think it's okay for them to kind of bag on us a little bit. I think if anything, it's not trolling or hating. It's rude if they don't say it in like if they're being rude. I think that's one thing, right? Yeah. If somebody say, Hannibal, what's up? Like, you can gain some weight, like that's rude, regardless of who it is. It's just like rude, right? But it doesn't necessarily make them like a troll or a hater. They're just maybe being rude, or culturally they're just thinking it's appropriate because they feel like that's just how I've been growing up, and my mom and dad and sisters clown, so I'm gonna clown because it feels comfortable.
Yeah.
In my family, when I go to my dad's side of the family, bro, it's ruthless, man. Like it, I got older cousins, younger cousins, aunts and uncles. It's it's savagery. Like it is to the point where like some Puerto Ricans are really like culturally like a lot of the guys are like real machismo and like, you know, if your hair ain't right, if you don't got the right line in, if your shoes are dusty, my cousins just clown all day long, right? And it's funny because they'll clown on you, but they ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still living with their moms, but they're talking about your hairline or your shirt's not cool enough. But it's like, really, bro? Like you still live with your parents. Like, you know, so but it's like you have to almost have thick skin and kind of give it back. And then it becomes like a respect thing. But yeah, I feel you on that though. I get it.
Yeah, Gigahollic Rex said a lot of cultures like that. They're just directed and they don't think it hurts someone. And also another one, I don't know if you guys check out this guy's channel, Stephen He. So the whole emotional damage meme guy has his whole career because of how his parents bagged on him. It's interesting. My chick was just watching his video. He's funny. Stephen He. His last name He is He. I think he's Chinese. And his whole, you know, he's got millions of subscribers. Really funny guy. But his biggest skit is talking about emotional damage of how his parents talk to him. And, you know, Asian culture, very direct. They'll talk about you're a loser. You got to get your stuff together. You're not at Harvard. Your whole life is terrible. And he kind of turned it into something funny and positive for him to be successful. But like I said, there's some cultures that, yeah, tough love is important. But you get to a point where you're probably getting negative results where every moment you're not achieving the A plus. So if someone gets a C, you know, the parents ready to hit them with a shoe. It's like, all right, some kids can handle that and achieve, but there's some kids you're just breaking them down, and it's just not healthy for them. And like I said, like in a team, every player responds differently, and you got to get it right. If you get it wrong and think, okay, my oldest, because usually the oldest gets the lot of the, not saying abuse, but you're the oldest, you got to get the shit together.
Yep.
They may be able to handle it, but if your third or your middle child or your youngest may not respond well, you have to be smart enough to realize, okay, that doesn't work. But you know, most parents are like, hey, they worked on the oldest, I'm gonna try all the rest of them, and they may all fucking figure it out. Probably not going to work.
Yeah,
for the most part.
That's a good point.
But let me jump in real quick with, you know, so Coach Eli, and that's, you know, obviously I want to talk about it because he takes everything as everyone's a hater and troll. If you do not agree with him, he labels you a hater and troll, and this is the extreme example. Most people do not feel that way. I think what I've noticed for trolls and haters, especially on any channel, it's best to, if you want to ignore it. If you block them, you don't need to announce it. Just block them. Or even a better time, what I've noticed sometimes when they say something really you consider rude, like I said, it depends on the time of day, the text, how it looks. If you respond in a very respectful way, sometimes that disarms them, and then they will respond in a positive way too. If it's not a true troll that's trying to rile you up.
Yeah.
But if they said something super critical, like, hey, I understand your point, but this is what I think. That you realize, oh, that wasn't a troll. That was just someone who had a different opinion.
Yeah.
But I think with Mr. Eli, he does not look at that way. It's everything is an attack. Everyone's attacked except if you agree. If you agree with him and he likes you, it's all good. So
yeah. It's almost like if you agree with him, he's like, oh, I love you, brother. You're my best friend now. And and it's like, and in anything, if anybody asks a question, it's like, oh, you got to get these trolls out of here. It's like very extreme one way or the other with him. And I think it's sad, man. I hate that we keep, this guy's it's very sad. And I just know
and it's easy to dunk on it, right? It's easy to make fun
it's
of
like a layup every time. It's like a layup in basketball. It's just so easy because it's so cringy, and he gives us so much weapons and he gives us ammunition because it's just so.
He's a softball. It's a softball, and you're gonna hit it out of the park, and that's why it's easy to do. And I've done it. We've made the videos, and you could tell it bothers him and his friends. It bothered that video I edited and made them, make them look funny. But even though it was their own words, they really upset about that because they keep bringing it up.
Yeah, but the thing is that the thing that he doesn't understand, and I know he's watching right now because I just know it in my heart.
Yeah.
He started this, and the problem is he's done this with other people because he has a lot of haters and trolls. I think he does have haters and some trolls. He has that, but that's on him.
Right.
And he even started this with like nobody was. I don't talk about this dude. I don't, and I don't. He came to my channel, was crazy comments, lying, assuming things and questioning things that should not have been questioned at all. And I didn't look at that as him being a troll. I looked at that as him being a sad individual. And I'm somebody that if you, like I said, I'll look at comments and depending on my mood and my state of mind, listen, I'm a little crazy sometimes. And if I look at something and if I feel some type of way, I'm going to respond. I don't care if you got one subscriber, have a channel, don't have a channel. That's irrelevant to me. If you talk out the side of your neck, I'm going to come at you and I'll respond. I don't care. Right. So that's with him. It's like he has to understand that he started this and you can't play the victim when you start. If you walk into the cafeteria and you sit by me and you start talking crazy, don't be mad that I slap you across the face and make you look bad in front of the cafeteria. That's what you get, So, and I think it's just funny how he plays his victim mentality and trolls and everybody's out to get me. Really, nobody cares about you. And this is the most relevant you've probably ever been on YouTube. That's my guess. This is the most relevant you've been, right?
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because you don't really offer much value and you're not a coach. So you're trying to do something out of a place of ignorance. And that always catches up to you. So it's very sad. I don't know how else to say it, but I didn't see this post. But
here's a post. He says, "Mr. Bet on You and Hannibal is hungry. You have both been unbanned from the Coach Eli too." I did not know I was banned because I don't post. I don't post, and I probably won't post on any kind of these type of channels. It just what's the point? Nothing is going to change. But anyway, let me continue to read. And won't want to miss my Walking with Purpose stream coming up in less than an hour. There's a solution to all this regarding all sides, and I will be sharing my thoughts and the next steps that we can take to resolve all of this. Let's see how mature everyone wants to handle this. I am starting to take the mature approach myself. See you soon. So he posted that, and then what I did was I was doing some editing, putting some stuff together. I checked out a little bit of his stream. So you read that. I read it. You heard it. Nothing what he said fit to the stream. It was insulting you, kind of insulting me.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I'm thinking he just said that he was looking to resolve something, but I don't. Yeah. But it's the words are not matching the behavior. And I think that's the issue with Eli. His words is, "I don't like I don't hate you, Pedro." But then start to be really critical. Continue to bring up certain things about your relationships and stuff like that. And I know you guys, I know many people who are here know more about his personal life and his girlfriend. I have no interest in talking about that at all. I know many people are comfortable with it. Not me. I'm good. That seems like a lot going on that I do not know about. It seems pretty sad. It's pretty obvious of what he's doing. Yeah. But I'm not touching that. And even though she's a part of it because she makes content and she's a part of the channel, I'm good. I've saw the video.
Yeah,
that looked pretty sad to me. So I'm not even going to attempt to jump.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But I think he uses. Man, I want to say this because I don't listen. I can't not. I just can't not. Based on what I've seen and what other people have told us, and other people, it seems like he uses people that he feels he's better than, that he can manipulate, and that he thinks he's better than them for whatever reason in various communities, and it makes him feel good that he can help them, and that's how he looks at that, and that's what he calls coaching, right? People that are down and out, rough times, or this or that, or don't feel heard, and he preys on those individuals. That is my take, and I believe that to be true. I just really do. And it's coming from a place, I think, of weakness from him. listen, you can't be a 50-year-old man living in your mom's basement. You can't. I'm calling it how I see it. Those might be harsh words. Some people might be offended, but that's how I look at it. And I think YouTube is a big part of his life, and he's, hasn't gotten the success he wants or thinks he deserves. I don't think Eli hates me. I think he loves me. I think he wants to be you and I. I think he can't do the things that you and I do on YouTube. He doesn't understand why. And, that's how I look at it. It's very sad to me. That's just, and he started this. So he came after me personally, talking about things that weren't okay. I'm just a little mix of crazy that I'm going to actually say something at times and question your moral compass or whatever, because it's not warranted. So that's kind of how I look at
it. And Kuala, I totally understand. And this is what he is working. And I think the reason why I bring him up, and I know it helps, but at the same time, I think it's important that we have these kind of conversations beyond just talking about, because it's very easy to make fun of him. It's extremely easy.
It's
the things he say,
yes,
his voice, the way he carries himself,
everything.
He's in a fake alpha bubble, and it doesn't work. It doesn't translate. That's why there's no traction to the things he's saying. The things he's saying and his behavior is disconnected. So that's why there's no traction. It's really just based on him making these type of videos, and we're going back and forth for this. And I think we're doing less and less of it. But I think we still want to talk about the difference between constructive, legitimate criticism and trolling. And I think trolling it's provocative. It's intent to be provocative. It's a lot of emotion. Sometimes, most time, they're trolling. They don't show their face, right? It's a bunch of profiles and, like you say, emails that you can't respond to. Very generalized statements. You can tell that the person that's making these statements did not watch the whole video, don't even know what they're talking about. So even with Eli, I kind of put Eli in that trolly hater section. He complained in the video, and I saw a little bit of it, realized, so I'm not making this up because I actually will watch it, unlike you don't watch the videos. He was really upset with Nugs. If you guys don't know what Nugs is, I'm sure you do.
Upset with a 22-year-old man that he was doing DoorDash and took responsibility for doing something that he did wrong. And he was bagging on him for being a man and taking responsibility. So it's
it didn't make any sense. So he's yelling about how these kids out here, these Gen Zers and millennials, they're entitled and they're blah blah blah. He's going this long rant, his voice is getting high, whatever. And I'm thinking, if you watch this video that Nugs did, Nugs says, I did this, it's my fault. He even at the end of the video says, I deserve this. He did something on DoorDash. DoorDash picked it up, he got deactivated. So that's funny. That's funny, Welty.
I feel like Welty has like a little feud with Nugs a little bit. I feel it. I feel it.
It is maybe, but I think Nugs had. I mean, I saw Welty and what his comments are, and I would not put Welty as a hater or a troll.
No,
he has criticism, and some of his, and I would say it's constructive. It's not the same, right?
But Welty just says what he wants. He's not. And he got a sense of humor. So I think some people might see a Welty comment as him being a troll. You see what I'm right? And I think Welty would the context is not missing.
And that's exactly. And so Eli's yelling about how entitled Nugs is. Like, you don't even know. Again, he just came in. Don't know where Nugs came from. How he had to work to build his stuff. He's been on YouTube probably longer than everyone at this point.
Oh, I think he's had a channel since he was like 15 or something.
Right. So this idea that you think that he's entitled, dude, build this. Now, his channel is entertainment. He's not dropping hits, tips and tricks, but just him ranting without doing research. That's the problem where that's why I consider him to be a troll. It's too generalized. He's not doing enough research. It's closed to so this is one thing about trolls, closed to reasoning. They're not really interested in having any kind of meaningful dialogue. So we can invite Eli to forever to come onto your channel and talk. You can invite him to go into your main channel and have be exposed to 6,000 or 7,000.
I already have, because I think because I think, and many people, and what's interesting is I think a lot of people bring up a great point. Hey, you can't feed the trolls because that's what they want.
I
And
would.
I agree
Yeah,
with that. And you've told me that a few times, and you're not
yes.
wrong. You're
Yeah.
not wrong. But for me, I don't feed all the trolls. But sometimes, like I said, if I'm being honest, you catch me on a certain day, you don't get me started. It's not gonna, like I'll come back at you, but I will open up and say, hey, you got a grievance, you got an opinion, you got something you want to say, let's talk about it, right? And a few people have joined the show or whatever, but like that to me is how you can separate a troll and a hater. Is you can just get on screen and talk about it, right? And have a dialogue, and maybe you can turn that into something, and maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe you, as a troll or a hater, or even me, you can get your questions answered and feel a little more clarity. But for me, I also see the value in it because I think viewers like to see that kind of stuff. I think they like to see confrontation. And
I mean,
I also
that's what built news. That's what built Fox News and CNN and MSNBC. These highlight clips. Obviously, sports with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, and Skip Bayless' show is just not. It's not hitting. I mean,
not hitting.
The Shannon, him going back and forth with Shannon, he's gone.
Yeah.
First Take is doing pretty well. You need those, and are they constructive or informative discussions?
Yeah,
probably not. But it's an entertainment aspect. People want to see conflict. But like you said, you invite all these people, and some showed up. So I'm not,
a few have, but most of the time, I think it's very easy to sit in a basement, to sit somewhere in your car, whatever, your studio, and talk shit online. Very easy. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of your time. And you could say what you want and feel better about it, and turn off the live and turn off the video and stop recording. And I feel good. I just talk shit on Pedro and Hannibal. It feels really good. I feel better about myself. It takes a man to come on and say that to my face or Hannibal's face. But these gentlemen are not that most of the time. They're not ready for that because they don't feel confident. You know what I'm saying? I feel extremely confident. I can have a conversation with any of these individuals and we could talk about it. And, I'm not going to be right about everything. It's not about that, but we can have a conversation. And you can tell me, bring your facts. I'll bring my facts.
Even if you do not like the person,
you don't have to like people.
I think that's the biggest problem between legitimate criticism. Yeah, the tone. Yeah, I think tone is really important. When you come across extremely negative or extremely aggressive, like how am I supposed to take that? Again, you wouldn't do that to my face. You wouldn't.
Right.
I know many of these people because we all, we all have been raised to a certain extent not to be that aggressive talking to people that you don't know. You don't do that. But it's easy, like you said, it's easy to do that online and walk with the dumb selfie stick with the big stupid headset on. It's very easy to do that, but it's hard to do that in someone's actual face. So when you have the tone is aggressive, it come across like, are you trying to troll? Are you trying to really be constructive? And just because you say I don't hate you or respectfully, that qualifier means nothing. When the rest of the conversation is nonsense, right?
You're right. To me, when we've talked about this, I've said it several times. It's okay to draw a line in the sand. We do not all have to like each other and love each other. The world isn't perfect. If everybody's not supposed to, I don't have all these friends and I'm ever get along with everybody. Like, no. If I like everybody, then that actually means I'm disrespecting somebody like Hannibal. Like I generally like Hannibal, like in his conversations, I respect his opinion, right? So like when Eli's like, "Oh, I love you, brother, respectfully. I don't hate you." Fuck that. No, Eli, I don't like you. I don't like you as a man. You're not somebody I'd have a beer with. You're not somebody that I respect. You're not somebody that I would be friends with. We don't have any things in common. I think you're soft. I think you're super not my kind of guy. And that's okay. Too many people are worried about being liked. I need to be liked. I need to be respectful. No, that is not the issue with this country right now. Is too many people worry about what other people think and want everybody to be their friends. No, we don't have to do that, right? When you're trying to be liked by everybody and be everybody's friend and be this and be nice, you're disrespecting the people that are really your friends. That's how I look at it, right? Not everybody's supposed to get along. Not everybody's the same. And that's okay, right? So when Eli's like, I don't hate you, I don't hate you either, but I don't like you. You're not the kind of guy that I would ever hang around and have a good time. We're just too different, right? We look at the world differently. We move differently. We value different things. And that's okay. We don't have to like each other. Right. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean you can't have a conversation. Some of the best conversations and some of the best things I've learned about myself have come from conflict or somebody that I didn't like. So that's how I look at things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't like to live in those spaces too long because life is too short. I'd rather just hang out with people that I enjoy their company and can learn in a positive way. But we do not all have to like each other. And just because you say the word respectful or this, or I'm not trying to hate, it's weak. You're not confident in the words that you're saying. So you use those words to cover up for the lack of confidence. That's how I look at it. Yeah. And not everybody's supposed to get along in this world. And that's all right, in my opinion.
Walty has a really good question to ask. He put in there. So what if Eli really loved the Bears and he's struggling with you? He's like, listen, Justin Fields, like, what's going on? And I remember we was in a Super Bowl. You know, we had Rex Grossman, man, like Devin Hester touchdown, kickoff. Like he remembers all those beautiful things.
I don't think Eli knows anything about anything that we just said about the Bears or Brian Urlacher.
Watch tomorrow episode. He'd be like, I know football, Pedro.
Yeah, I think Eli watches swimming or tennis or backgammon or.
Listen, I'm a big fan of tennis. Serena.
Okay. Listen. You're watching for different reasons, brother. Okay, you're watching.
Wait. One of the greatest tennis players of all time. I'm witnessing greatness.
You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that.
You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But I just don't. My thing is, we don't all have to like each other.
Yeah,
we don't. That we do not like to like Eli. I don't like you. You said crazy things out the side of your mouth. Okay, yeah. I can't respect a man that does the things that you do. I can't do it. I won't do it. I just can't. It doesn't mean we can't talk. It doesn't mean I can't not like you a month from now if we have a conversation and I learn some more things about you. But lines need to be drawn sometimes, and that's how I look at stuff.
Kevin said you guys also talked about the '85 Bears. They were pretty good, right? They're decent.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
So I know I'm wasting my time to say this, but Eli, if you're interested in coming on the channel, you can just send a message. You can put in a comment. I know you won't because I know you worry about being ambushed. I think you're just worried about it probably won't turn out very well. Because it's probably won't turn out pretty well because we're going to say some things. You're not going to be able to handle it.
Well, don't tell him that, Eli. It will turn out just fine. It'll turn out just fine. Okay. Listen.
Go ahead, Pedro. Just sell it because he won't show up. He's not going to show up. I would show up on his channel. I really would.
And for you to say that.
I will go. He's the only one. The rest of the cows, I can't. Like they know who they are. But for him especially, I would ask a few questions about why he thinks his thought process, because it's off to me. It's not steeped in reality. At least the reality most.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: in the way that I'm saying, we don't all have to like each other, and we shouldn't. We don't all have to be friends and sing kumbaya. Like that's not the way the world works. The world's hard. It's rough. It's tough. You're not going to like some people. That's how I look at it. Right. That's the reality of it. Right. But like, should we even give a fuck about why he's weird? Because that's what he is. He's a weird dude. Like he's weird, and that's okay. I'm a little weird.
I would say most.
Should we even care?
No, we should not. But this is an entertainment channel here.
It is. So you're right about that. Good point.
That's the only reason that we've been having the discussion. I know they some of them get really upset because they want us to talk about them on the main channels. The main channels are about, at least in our gig economy, it's about making money. This channel's
completely different than
it's completely. They don't like that because they want us to talk. But if I went and talked about this guy on the main channel, no one would know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
It's like who is this? Wait a minute, is it about making money? Is this does this make me make more money? Is this a new strategy? Is this a new app? Is this a new? Oh no, is this you just ranting about some random guy?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not interested. I'm gonna click off. So you
Well,
don't understand that.
if Eli was a smart businessman, because this channel is not monetized yet, the Pedro and Hannibal podcast not monetized yet. It's going to get there, right? We're going through that process. I guarantee, if Hannibal and I were on his show, it'd be his most watched live he's had in the last couple of years. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. So Eli, bring us on your show, bro. You can control the.
You can make you can make them.
Yeah, I mean, you want to come at? Listen, you got things. You got questions. Listen. We push the needle more than you do. So if you want to make some money, you should probably take that up. Or you could just talk and say the same things all over again. But you have two grown men here. You talk about being a man and being morals and ethics and all that stuff. You have two guys that are telling you, hey, let's talk like men. Let's talk like life coaches.
We're open to have that.
We're open to have a conversation. So if you're a businessman, you should want to do that because it would benefit you tremendously, probably.
Yeah, let them know. I mean, again, I probably won't be I saw the tag. I watched some of the content, and it was such a disconnect from what he said. I want to resolve this to the same insults, the same being upset, yelling about nugs, a young man that's going to do more in his life that, unfortunately, with what he has done so far in terms of being who Eli is. That Nugs is going to do really special things. So it's a little weird, but I am still open because I guess I feel sorry for him. So I would like to talk to him and see where his head is, like for real, instead of like what we're doing right now is back and forth or whatever. But
we could just do it, and then we don't have to do anything after that. We can have one little knock them out, blow them out live. And
we get it over it,
and just get it done, and we can all move. I mean, why not? Listen, because you obviously have questions for me, and you got some for Hannibal. You said things about him and I and the channel, and many of you guys have no idea. We've had this channel for like almost 15 months now. Like we have a separate channel for a reason. We don't talk about the
That's
gig
how channels work. They don't understand how YouTube works. Unfortunately, but
like I said, if you're man enough, I mean, come on, man. You talk. I mean, listen. You're older than me, so I got to respect my elders. So you should be ready to have a conversation. So, because at some point, me and Hannibal will move on because we got better things to do, and I think you'll still be talking about this. But we can just have one live and just be done with it. You can even bring your buddies, your goon squad. You can bring your little guys with you. It could be a fun little couple hours. I mean, I'll make time for that. So
I strongly doubt that's going to happen. But anywho, it is what it is. We can move on. I don't think we're going to be doing a show Wednesday because we're going to be doing other things, man. A bunch of studio gangsters.
I got to.
Okay. We're going to be in Brooklyn, I guess, hanging out with real gangsters because we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be watching or witnessing. I'm really excited because this is the first time Nas, or at least Pedro is going to watch Nas live in the Barclays Center with Wu-Tang Clan. So I got the tickets. You're gonna these seats. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you. We're gonna go there.
Listen, man. I'm geeked. I went out and got me a new outfit on Saturday.
Oh, you got a new outfit?
Yeah, my girl was like, "What are you gonna wear?" I was like, "Because I wear the same." Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, I wear the same 5 to 8 shirts, and I got a couple of shorts and some pants. I don't spend money on clothes anymore, right? But I went and got myself a little outfit. I got some boots. I'm like, I'm ready to. Man, I'm stunning out, man.
I'm gonna be looking regular, motherfucker. But appreciate that because you coming through, you flying through, so you want to look good. It's good. I want to look good. No problem with that. But it's gonna be great. We're gonna be hanging out at the Barclays Center. I'm gonna show Pedro the Chick-fil-A and the Shake Shack and the 45,000 gig workers waiting for an order. You're gonna be like, I can't believe this.
No, you know what's going to happen? We're going to get there. Nobody going to be outside. I'm like, Hannibal, what the fuck?
I'll bet you. All right, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I'm going to point. I'm like, look over there. All those scooters. They're all waiting for an order right now. It's delivering food in New York City, especially in Brooklyn. You better get a scooter because driving is just a waste of time unless you're doing something else. But we're going to be doing that. Just really enjoying. And it's interesting. I hope he plays some of his latest stuff. I know usually they have a set list and they already know what they're playing because I know he's been touring. He's been bouncing around for quite a while actually. So I don't know if he can be playing. I know he's gonna play the classics. It's gonna be.
I mean, so what you want him to play? You want him to play stuff from Magic 2 and 3 and King Disease 3, or would you prefer the old school? It's like the Stillmatic, the It Was Written, the Illmatic.
Probably, like, I would say old school, just because it's live. You know, you don't get to see him. This is my second time seeing him. I saw him in Queens a few years ago. Mm-hmm. This is what a time where he actually, at one point, I forgot this. He actually was dating Nicki Minaj for a while. I'm like, Nas.
I had no idea about that.
Oh, yeah. Before now, she's dating a sex offender. But anyway, or married to one. But anyway, that's a whole another story. But it was a great little set that he did. This one is like a true. You know, he's in Brooklyn. He got it at Wu-Tang. I don't know how many of them are going to be there. I doubt.
Bro, I don't know what to expect. I have no idea with that. Yeah.
We'll expect $13 beers or $16. I forgot how much. It's very expensive. So you definitely want to pregame and get liquored up somewhere else. But yeah, it's gonna be a fantastic time.
So are we should we do? I mean, I'm already planning on kind of filming some vlog style for the other, like my trip there. You know, it's been 10 years since I've been to NY. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna film some things. But like, should we? Should we do anything for this channel with the concert? Should we not? What do y'all think in the chat? Do you want us to?
We can figure something out. Maybe we'll find a bar or somewhere, and maybe shoot a quick live about maybe after the concert or something. Like I could find an area at least we can.
It depends on how drunk we are or how high Hannibal is. So we'll have to see.
We may do it either way. Like, just listen here, Eli, son of a bitch. We're gonna go. No, probably we could be chilling. We're gonna be chilling. Page is ready to curve stop while Hannibal prance. Why are we prancing? Why you gotta use prancing? A prance is in his.
What do you say, Pedro? Ready to curb stomp while Hannibal prances in his
own. Why not prance though, dog? Like, why can't it just be like looking cool or something? Like, I gotta be prancing. Like, that's a weird word to use. Prance.
So Lee says drunk stream! !
It's happy stream. We'll see. We're talking about the concert. I think we'll probably do at least. I don't know if it'll be a full hour, but we're probably gonna take a phone. Flip, and put it against somewhere, and we'll chat a little bit.
I'll probably be the one doing it because I'm typically the one that's a little more outgoing, and I'm always doing the lives anyway. Hannibal's the cool guy. You know what's funny is, so Hannibal always talks about, oh, Pedro's the cool one. You growing up, I'm the nerd. When we've been out, Hannibal's the chill one. He's always super chill and cool. Yeah. I'm usually the one that's a little crazy. So if anything, it'd probably be me whipping the phone out and showing things. You know,
I'm playing a lot of my things that I do online, but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna have a fantastic time. So you will see us sometime, but it's gonna be late. So I don't know. You probably guys check it on a replay about what we gonna do and how the concert went, and maybe they may. I hope they have some guests. You never know. These, especially in Brooklyn right now.
Yeah.
50. He's the same. Nas is the same age as hip hop, like 50 years old.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You don't know what's gonna happen. Who come out in Brooklyn? Who's gonna pop out? So it's gonna be a fantastic time. So definitely check us out on Wednesday. Paige is gonna get a glizzy from calling out and no catch up. If he goes to calling out, we'll see, man. I think Paige coming in and coming out. So I don't know if we're gonna even have.
Well, I'm staying in. Let me look it up real quick before we leave. I'm not gonna tell you all like the whole. Well, here I'm staying in Brooklyn. Like, I think it says it was a 3-minute car ride from the Barclays. Is the place I got. That's so I'm gonna get there I think I get there at like 2:00 at the airport, JFK.
I'm gonna be able to pick you up, so you're good to go on that one. So
I got somebody. You said you can get.
You got somebody already?
Yeah.
You got somebody already?
I got another NY brother, man. So we're good.
Oh well, then I'll just chill. I'll wait till we link up then.
Yeah, we'll link up. Anyways, I'm staying 3 minutes away from the Barclays. So
you right there. Look at you.
So I'm pretty close. We'll figure it out. We're gonna have a good time.
Oh, you could stumble and bumble yourself back into your room after you.
That's the point. That's the point. I'm trying to listen. This is my first big concert of hip hop, man. I've been to some small shows. Okay. I've been to some other things, but I'm gonna.
Oh, you're good. You're gonna have a good treat. Like I said, the only issue we're gonna
have. Plus, it's your birthday week. Like, we're gonna have a good time, bro. So,
I'm old. It's fine. we'll be good. Which one I saw? Oh, Craig. He doesn't go. He goes to the bathroom. You guys are funny. You guys
Oh
are funny.
shit!
Only feed. Hannibal never gave us an update on the cuddler app. It's over. No one wants
It's
to
done.
cuddle.
Nobody wants to cuddle with
Listen,
Hannibal, guys.
because why a woman doesn't need to do that. Just call a guy up. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm lonely. Come through. Maybe you'll get.
Yeah, but you didn't have any
now.
guys. You didn't have any guys in the DM at least.
No, I guess I'm ugly. Like, they're not even interested. They're not even dudes. Like, yeah, fuck this guy. I could probably again call someone. Like, so no, that I don't know if my profile's still up, but that never landed. They probably took my stuff off. So, on that note, guys, appreciate you coming through. We're a little longer than usual, but yeah, we'll see you guys. I guess live on Wednesday.
We'll do something on Wednesday. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll
definitely. Appreciate you guys for coming through. And again, Eli, we're open. We're open to talk. Right? We're open to talk. So we'll see what happens. But on that note, we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.